Today is Friday, Parashat Shemini. The beginning of the parasha of this week speaks about the inauguration of the Mishkan. The Mishkan, the holy sanctuary that traveled with them in the desert. The Jewish people had given all their contributions of the various materials to build it. It was put together. Moshe Rabbeinu had erected it and taken it down for 7 days, one day after the other. And now it's the 8th day. That's Bayom HaShemini, on the 8th day. This is when the Mishkan will be formally inaugurated. This is when Aaron Cohen will take his position in the holy sanctuary as the high priest. Now, there is a pasuk here that begs for an explanation, and Rashi, the commentator, gives us the reason for the specific wording here. The pasuk says, "Vayomer Moshe el Aaron," and Moshe tells Aaron, "Kerav el hamizbeach, come closer to the altar. Va'aseh et chatatecha ve'tolatecha," and then make the sacrifices. Ve'chaper ba'atcha u'ba'at ha'am, and atone for you and the nation. But the wording kerav el hamizbeach, come closer to the mizbeach, to the altar. Rashi explains, Shehaya Aaron bosh veyare lageshet, because Aaron was embarrassed and afraid to take on the mantle of high priest. He was ashamed because of the fact that he was involved in making the golden calf, and he felt undeserving of having the position of high priest. That kind of embarrassment and shame that he had sort of like held him back from coming closer. But Moshe urges him. He says, please come closer to the Mizbeach. Lama tabosh, Rashi explains, why are you embarrassed? Lechach nifcharta. You were chosen for this. You were selected for this. So the plain meaning is, you have this position that was assigned to you, Aaron. There's no turning back. You've been selected for this position. Please, Aaron, my brother, come closer to the Mizbeach and carry on with the service in the sanctuary, or in the Mishkan. Now, that's one way to explain it. That's the plain meaning of it. The Baal Shem Tov has a deeper understanding of this pasuk. Ki lechach nivcharta. You were chosen or selected for this. For what? For the fact that you're embarrassed about what you did with the golden calf. The fact that you feel the shame and that you're concerned about coming closer, and that your feelings of being not deserving shows the great quality of person that you are. Many times a person gets an important position, it goes to his head, he becomes haughty, he becomes arrogant even. He feels that he's totally entitled to it. Here's the exact opposite. Aaron Cohen is given this very important position, yet he feels embarrassed. Because of what? Because of things that he had done in the past. That kind of shame or embarrassment is actually a great quality in the person. And according to Chachmei HaMusar, to our wise, our sages, the idea of shame is what restricts from people many times from sinning. It's a deterrent for the person to sin. What will the people say? It will be embarrassing, even embarrassing vis-a-vis of Hashem. How could I do this? But once there is no longer embarrassment there, it's like there's nothing to interpose between the person and sin. A person will be more likely to sin if he doesn't have this idea of embarrassment. It's an important concept in this day and age, where so much is done in terms of communication between people. It's done totally on the internet and some kind of in cyberspace. And human contact is not so much there. So in cyberspace, people have less tendency to be embarrassed by their actions or by their statements that they make. But we have to make sure that this quality of having the idea that a person should be embarrassed by the wrong things that he does, and therefore the more a person thinks in those terms, that Aaron Cohen got a great position as the high priest, but he was embarrassed, and that proved the quality of the person that he was. That's why Moshe Rabbeinu told him it's okay. And some commentators say, since his position as the high priest, he was to help the Jewish people atone for their sins, he was a person that prayed on their behalf. The fact that he was repentant himself, he could connect more with the flavor or the aspect of a person who's repentant, and he's able, in a sense, to even pray better for them because he could relate to them. He had his own past experience with having done something that was inappropriate, quote unquote, with the golden calf. We could say a lot more about that. How did that happen? But the fact that he felt sorry, felt contrite, that aspect, he could relate more to the people who have those feelings and for whom he prayed as he was in his position of the high priest in the Mishkan. Baruch Adonai Le'olam, Amen ve'Amen, and Shabbat Shalom.